Imagine you did everything right. You studied hard, graduated from a good university, landed a stable job, and now you earn a salary that would have made your parents proud. You have a decent car in the driveway, a mortgage on a home in a nice suburb, and a retirement contribution that happens automatically every month. On paper, you are the definition of success. Yet late at night, you feel a lingering sense of unease. Despite the raises and the professional titles, you feel like you are running on a treadmill that keeps getting faster. You aren't poor, but you certainly aren't getting ahead. You are surviving, not thriving. So why do so many middle-class people stay financially stuck their entire lives? The middle class isn't poor, but it's also not getting rich. And there is a specific hidden reason for this that nobody warns you about. This is the middle class trap, an invisible system designed to keep you productive but never truly free. For decades, we have been sold a specific version of the American dream. The traditional success path was simple: go to school, get a stable job, buy a house, work for 40 years, and then retire with a gold watch and a pension. This model worked perfectly for the generations that came before us because the economic rules were different. In the mid-20th century, a single income could support a family, buy a home, and guarantee a comfortable retirement. Inflation was manageable, and the gap between productivity and wages hadn't yet become a canyon. But today, those rules have quietly changed while the script remained the same. We are still following a map that leads to a destination that no longer exists. The modern reality is that the middle class is being squeezed by forces that our grandparents never had to face. Building wealth in the current economy requires a total rejection of the standard advice. If you follow the traditional path today, you aren't guaranteed security. You are guaranteed a lifetime of quiet desperation. To understand how to break free, we first have to identify the specific mechanisms of the trap, starting with the most seductive one of all. The first major hurdle is the lifestyle inflation cycle. This is the silent killer of financial freedom. It works like this: as your income increases, your expenses increase at an equal or even faster rate. You get a promotion and a 10% raise. Suddenly, that 2-bedroom apartment feels a little too small, so you move into a 3-bedroom. You feel like a manager now, so you trade in your reliable sedan for a luxury SUV with a higher monthly payment. You start eating at better restaurants and subscribing to more premium services because, after all, you've earned it. But here is the reality: your net worth hasn't moved an inch. You are earning more, but you are also burning more. This cycle creates a dangerous paradox where someone earning $200,000 a year can be just as broke as someone earning $50,000. They both have $0 left at the end of the month. One just has nicer stuff in their garage. Social pressure plays a massive role here. We are bombarded with images of what success is supposed to look like, and we feel an internal obligation to project that image to our peers. We buy things we don't need with money. We don't have to impress people we don't even like. More income does not equal more wealth if your expenses are tethered to your paycheck. But lifestyle inflation is only the first trap. The second one is even more dangerous because it is presented as a tool for progress: the debt ladder. In the middle class, debt has been completely normalized. We are taught that as long as we can afford the monthly payment, we can afford the item. This is the biggest lie in personal finance. We start with student loans to get the degree, then move to car loans to get to the job, then credit cards to furnish the life, and finally a massive mortgage to house the ambition. We become experts at managing cash flow, but amateurs at building equity. The middle class buys liabilities thinking they are assets. A house you live in is not a traditional asset in the sense that it doesn't put money in your pocket every month. It takes it out. A car is a depreciating liability that loses value the moment you drive it off the lot. When your entire life is funded by monthly payments, your future income is already spent before you even earn it. You aren't working for yourself, you are working for the bank. You feel rich because you have the house and the car, but you are actually 1 or 2 missed paychecks away from total collapse. This brings us to the third trap, the income ceiling. Most middle-class people rely on a single source of income, their salary. The problem with a job is that it has inherent limits. There are only 24 hours in a day, and there is only so much a company is willing to pay for your time. Even with promotions and annual raises, those increases rarely do more than keep pace with inflation. You are trading your most valuable, non-renewable resource, time for a fixed amount of currency. The wealthy understand a different math. They don't trade time for money. They own assets that generate income, regardless of whether they are working or sleeping. The middle class path is like climbing a ladder. You have to keep moving to stay up, and there is a limit to how high the ladder goes. The wealthy path is like an escalator. Once you build it and turn it on, it carries you upward while you stand still. If your income stops the moment you stop working, you are not financially secure. You are just a high-paid prisoner of the clock. The fourth trap is the tax and expense squeeze, and this is where the math really starts to work against you. The middle class is the most heavily taxed demographic in the modern economy. You earn too much to qualify for social safety nets or government assistance, but you don't earn enough to utilize the complex tax loopholes and corporate structures that the ultra-wealthy use to protect their capital. You are caught in the Goldilocks zone of taxation. Every time you get a raise, a larger percentage of that increase goes to the government. Simultaneously, the costs of the core middle-class pillars, housing, healthcare, and education, have skyrocketed far beyond the rate of general inflation. You are being squeezed from both sides. You are earning more, but you are keeping less, and the things you need to buy are costing more. It feels like you are running as fast as you can just to stay in the same place. This creates a psychological state of perpetual grind, where you feel like the promised land of financial peace is always just one more promotion away, but it never actually arrives. The comfort zone prison is the last and possibly most deceptive trap. The system traps comfort, not poverty. When you have a good enough life, you fear taking risks to reach a great one. You can't quit your bad work to start a business because of your mortgage. You won't invest aggressively because you're terrified of losing your modest cushion. Bi-weekly pay becomes addictive. The cage is gold. It's a cage with soft walls and good food. Fear of losing security trumps actual freedom. For 30 years, many people gripe about the same issues in the same cubicle while their goals fade. They chose stability over potential, unaware that entire reliance on a single employer is the riskiest decision in a changing environment. How to move above middle class. The escape method requires a comprehensive money thinking shift. Build wealth before appearing rich. Lifestyle inflation must be aggressively reduced. Instead of changing your zip code after a raise, change your savings rate. Second, buy assets, not obligations. Every dollar you spend on depreciating items could have been invested in stocks, real estate, or a business. Consider your wealth, not your salary. Your investment should generate enough passive income to cover your expenses. True financial independence. Revenue diversification is third. Today, one revenue source is a recipe for disaster. Start a side company, buy dividend stocks, or find small enterprises. Building a financial foundation without employer approval is crucial. Stopping the game as taught is the largest financial breakthrough. Middle-class failure is due to following an old script from another world, not laziness. Incorrect measures and incentives trap them. To break the pattern, appear poor to neighbors while getting rich privately. You must value freedom over status. The middle class trap is how the system surreptitiously directs your money, not your income. Debt, taxation, and consumption drain your energies, leaving nothing for tomorrow. The trap becomes weaker when seen. Walking off the treadmill is doable. Own your time. Does the middle class shrink, or are people only realizing this cycle? Share your thoughts below. Freedom awaits those who are bold enough to tread it.